Good morning, one and all.
Good morning, coffee moaners. Lovely to see you. Welcome to our channel. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us get these videos out to more people, and yeah, it makes us feel good.
I was going to ask a favour.
What?
I was going to ask if just now and then you could do a bit of an Anna Kasparian.
Anna Kasparian.
From the Young
I think I
Turks.
quite often do an Anna Kasparian.
You've never said, he can taste my arse.
He can taste my ass.
I've never seen Cenk on the Young Turks look so... We were out with Mo Hamza the other night and I was impersonating Cenk. He was like, oh my God.
You should probably explain who these people are.
She says things. This is the Young Turks, independent media, YouTube channel. They're not advocates they're advocates for neutrality, actually.
They're proper Democrats.
They're advocates for neutrality.
Yeah. Actually, quick question. We talk about the Young Turks quite a lot, actually.
Has anyone gone to them?
Has anyone followed them from our recommendation?
We've got a couple of clips today.
We've got a couple of clips from them again today. And Anna Kasparian is like, she is tough, smart. I think Mark really fancies her because he constantly goes on about when she said, eat my ass.
No,
when you say
repulsive.
When you say eat my ass, what bit of her ass does she mean?
Whenever I think of an ass, I think of an onion ring.
Oh.
Yeah.
So are you thinking of the anus?
Yeah, there's nothing attractive about the act. It's the fact that she's willing to say shit like that. I just think
she is great.
And I love the fact that it flummoxes her co-host, Cenk. His veins start to pop.
So we're going to be showing you a clip or two from their channel. We're huge fans of theirs.
Elsa Pops, just quickly before we go through, Elsa Pops says, love the Daily Mail headline, snow hits London. I think hits is quite a strong adjective.
You know, it's funny, isn't it, with so much going on in the world, and that is their top story. And on The Guardian, their top story is processed foods bad for you, which we all fucking knew anyway. What's going on?
Well, I sent Nadia the story. It is the top leading trending story on the Guardian website.
Does anyone not know that ultra processed food is bad for you?
Yeah. And then you read it and you said there's nothing in it that's new.
But actually, our daughter came down this morning, our beautiful, wonderful, oh my God, I love that girl so much, our 23-year-old. She's got the hugest heart. Yeah. Yesterday, last night, as she was chatting on, I just kept looking over March. The worries and the concern. She's so empathetic, isn't she? She's just amazing. But the first thing she said to me today as she ran out to college was, Mum, it's going to be raining it's going to be snowing in London today. And I thought, yeah, right. Anyway, Pretty Little London Instagram account, couldn't show you it because there's music with it. There it was. Snow in London.
Well, it snowed here for a moment.
It's sleet in it.
It's sleet.
But I love how excited we get about the snow. And if anyone is listening here from another country, you're getting a little taste of what the weather means to the Brits. We can talk about it all day long. We love the weather.
Yeah.
And we love tea. And Natasha and oh my God, this is
beautiful
just the
mug.
Most gorgeous mug. Thank you so much. And my beautiful wintering book. Oh, you just hit a little part of my heart. Yes, and that's what I need to do. Wintering. Thank you so much.
Very kind.
Thank you, both of you. Just so lovely. And my beautiful little plant box.
Yeah, the plant box on the lid. What a stroke of genius that was.
And thank you for all your lovely messages. I really did check out yesterday. I seriously checked out.
Yes, you did.
It was just lovely. Had a really simple day. Spent a lot of the time just chatting with one of our daughters and hanging out. And then had a Chinese takeaway. We've got a retro one from down the road.
Yeah,
Dina kept saying
nice.
retro.
So retro that you can actually go there and pick it up.
And also you can only pay cash and it's affordable. Yeah. So we had a cheap Chinese and it was lovely.
Everything about it was fantastic.
Yeah, my mum and dad came round and
you ate nougat.
I had nougat and I had a tequila with my Chinese, which actually went down enormously well.
It did, but I did notice something happens to you when you have a tequila. Your face becomes sort of implacable. You sort of go,
it's pissed. It's because I'm pissed. It's because I'm pissed.
No, but it's like a tequila's literally like someone's just jawed you.
Oh,
yeah,
it's very calming.
Yeah, that's nice.
My favorite, yeah. Anyway,
I just want to share these lyrics. It's not often that we recommend, and we're going to get onto the news, but we like a bit of a preamble, don't we? One of our daughters recommended an album over the weekend by a group called Headache. Please go onto Spotify, check out Headache. It's an evolving album. It's incredibly. I listened to it and I was just like so moved by it. Anyway, there's a set of lyrics from it that speaks to my attitude to the weather, and it says, "There's nothing darker than the sunlight when your eyes are closed." Think about that. There's nothing darker than the sunlight.
Blimey. Isn't that one of those that sounds really clever, but when you dig into it, it's not?
No, because actually something so bright and that's supposed to sort of supply such positivity, when you close your eyes, it's the darkest thing in your eyelids.
See, it isn't, because it's bright orange when I close my eyes.
It becomes the thing that's darkest. It's so weird. It's a bit like, I hate to take us there in an inevitable about turn, it's a bit like the interstellar object. On that note, 8 o'clock tonight, we will be going live whilst NASA goes live. Not because NASA's going to tell us anything about it that means anything, but probably they're going to be lying. So we're going to be live at 8. And for the members, we're doing a No Name Sunday show tonight at 6 o'clock. It's a busy old day today.
It really is. It really is. So let's mark. You give us a rundown.
It's really weird. I mean, sometimes the difficulty with the news at the moment is that you are forced by YouTube into writing a title, which never really speaks to the multiplicity of things that are going on in the day. So what have we gone for? Is the huge Epstein vote reversal suspicious? So this is the vote in America yesterday in not only the House of Representatives, we talked about it yesterday, but the Senate, it's passed through suddenly. Trump said vote it through and everyone's voted it through. It just seems a bit odd. I find it odd. We're going to talk a bit more about the Epstein-Israel link that the mainstream media and Western governments are completely ignoring. We're going to also show you a brilliant film of Led by Donkeys projecting some important information onto the front of the BBC building.
Led by Donkeys. We've shown you a couple of their videos in the past, and it's fantastic because this is voiced by Anna Ford.
Yes,
Remember
amazing,
Anna Ford? Yeah. Anna Ford beamed into our lives every single night, didn't she? She was a newsreader through the 70s, 80s, and maybe 90s. So our younger.
Back in the day, she was quite sort of, she was considered quite a sort of icon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we're going to also talk about the Saudi king killer, which is the only way I could get it. And what did he kill the journalist with, or allegedly?
It was a bone story. It was truly horrific.
Horrific story.
Really, really horrific story. And Trump basically gave him a royal greeting yesterday. All the flags were out for him. Terribly upsetting for his family. It's just a disgrace. And actually, Trump behaved disgracefully again yesterday to journalists. We've got the clips. It's just astonishing how rude and psychotic he is.
I've got some astonishing clips. We've got some astonishing moments. You're just unbelievable eruptions from Trump yet again. But also, it's just quite unbelievable. We've also got his moment. Yes, someone was asking when he refers to a journalist on Air Force One as piggy. I mean, it's just quite hideous.
Just unbelievable. And shame on all those journalists that didn't stick up for her, I have to say. Where's your solidarity, guys? Come on, you journalists. You're just weirdos.
MeTube's asking, did Anna Ford do Penthouse or Playboy?
MeTube, don't throw a spanner in the works. Can I have to look that up now?
Have to look that one up. Anna Ford.
But also, what was the other thing? We're also going to be talking about the Queen.
Oh, yes.
Saying to Ruth Jones, asking Ruth Jones whether she had lost masses of weight.
This is a great story. This is one of those ones where Nadia showed me the clip to see what my response was, and my jaw hit the floor. I was like,
but I have two different completely, as is the way with me, reactions to it.
Yeah.
Totally conflicting responses to it.
So we're going to avoid the really quite disappointing cesspit of British politics. Apart from, I just want to share with you just quickly, it's always nice at the beginning of Coffee Moaning to just kind of almost do a little kind of fizz through some of the other stories that are knocking about. There's a big story or a big piece in The Guardian focusing on Nigel Farage's school exploits. The reason I wanted to flag this up, this is something that one feels could be sort of urban myth or kind of, it's legend, but is it real? And we've heard stories, because he used to go to a school local to us, Dulwich College. We've heard stories of how...
I was at discos with him at Dulwich College.
That's right.
Is that the same age as me?
Yeah, that's right. And we've heard stories about how he liked to kind of do the Hitler goose walk. Is it the goose walk? Is that what they call it?
The goose walk.
Goose step.
Goose march.
Yeah,
goose
he
step.
was idolatory of Hitler. He was adoring. Anyway, so The Guardian has done a really big analysis of Nigel Farage's fresh claims of racism and anti-Semitism regarding him at school. He had said things, I'm not going to say some of the words, insulting, derogatory, racist terms, but you can see coming out of this graphic, Hitler was right, he said. He used phrase like gas them. Farage equals lifelong racist. I'm going to pop the link to that article in the description box, just in case you're interested. It's just, I think we need to keep reminding people that Farage is a spin doctor and he's not telling the truth. But by the same token,
and like Trump, he's very, very concerned with his own deep pockets and how much money he can get stuffed into them. Yeah,
and we also like to promote other kind of accounts. And Danny fucking Price is just so brilliant because he says and uses language that we'd love to all use, a bit like Anna Kasparian actually, but are a bit afraid to. And he's just done a carousel this morning, just reminding us that, just love how simple he is sometimes. Labour is a right-wing party. Scapegoating and demonising asylum seekers is right-wing. Forcing disabled people to work is right-wing. Refusing to tax the super rich is right-wing. Not supporting or housing homeless is right-wing. Pandering to gammons is right-wing. Continuously raising taxes for working people is right-wing. Allowing billionaire companies to raise utility bills is right-wing. Allowing water companies to dump raw sewage into our seas, lakes and rivers while they raise bills for the public is right-wing. Supporting a genocide is right-wing. Being a wide-faced, jobby bleep is right-wing.
Have you joined the Green Party yet?
Yes.
Have you joined the Green Party yet? Have you joined the Green Party yet?
Okay, so me and Nadia don't agree entirely on this. This is the news that yesterday the Epstein files have been voted through with such speed. I mean, it was like last night. It was each chamber of American Parliament just said, yeah, all right, release the files.
Yeah, but before that, we listened yesterday as a family to the press conference with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, lots of people may not know who Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're very plugged into America. She is a senator. She was pure MAGA. She supported Trump for 6 years. She doesn't take any bribes from AIPAC. She doesn't take any money from anyone. She was pure MAGA running through her veins.
Much, Stacey. So kind.
She has said some appalling things, right? Appalling. There is so much that you would just recoil from with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but she is actual MAGA, like America first, like true America first. And she is furious with about the amount of money, first of all, that she has discovered is being, dished out to Israel when her people in her constituency, it's not called constituency, what is it in America?
A state.
Yeah. Can't afford, their Medicaid's being cut, they can't afford their bills. She talks a lot about how her own kids can't afford to buy a house and can't afford the medical insurance. So she's true MAGA. Much of what she said is unbelievably racist, of the negative things that I've seen about Marjorie.
She's also infamously, just for people to get a grab, she's infamously, I thought it was a Sky reporter, me too, corrects me, but when she kind of threw those insults at Emily Maitlis, wasn't it, as she was being asked questions, was that right?
No, it wasn't Emily Maitlis, it was their American reporter out there, the one with the red hair.
No, but she also threw abuse at Britain, saying you've got a problem over there, and told the journalist, was that Emily Maitlis?
Oh, that was Emily, she did that with Emily Maitlis as well. Anyway, so, but the thing is, I think, and this is what they talk a lot about on the Young Turks, where you meet, why does everything have to be opposition? You can disagree with lots of things, and this is in life as well, with one person, and agree and come together on others. And she has been incredibly brave in speaking out about Israel and speaking up for the victims, Epstein's victims. She has been unbelievably brave. She was pressured to take her name off the list that was calling. Wasn't she the first one to call out to other senators to?
Yes, she absolutely spearheaded the Republican
with
side
with a Democrat.
Yeah, I think it's her and two Democrats.
Yes.
Thomas Massey is one of them, I think. And I mean, she has gone to extraordinarily risky lengths
to get these women heard. And so, and she has been relentless. And in the last few days, Trump set the dogs on her because he marked her as a traitor.
Marjorie Traitor Green.
That's what he called her.
It's a good. You're teeing up this clip beautifully.
Yeah, and so just we all know what that means when he sets the dogs on you. And he said also that if anyone was to run against her in her state, they would get 100% his backing. So basically, full bully boy action again to try and shut her up and shut her down. Wow. Yesterday, her speech was, of course, much longer than this, but I found this so powerful. I got goosebumps yesterday.
So this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was standing in front of many of the Epstein victims,
of which there are 1,000.
Yeah,
so this is just some of them.
And many of them gave testimony again yesterday. The other Democrat politicians gave testimony too. But you've got to give Marjorie Taylor Greene absolute credit where credit is due. She's swum against the current of the Republican Party.
And disagree with people.
Absolutely.
We did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people whom we serve as representatives here in Congress demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files, but the real fight will happen after that.
And what's
incredibly brave.
Incredibly brave. I mean, I can see people sort of still saying, I can't get on board with her, etc., etc.
But on this point, we need more of that in politics.
Yeah, absolutely.
People crossing the aisle, just like where can we make everything has to be a fight, political fight. There's so much with our politics as well. We could just, for the good of people, could we not just sometimes pull together and not have to disagree on everything?
I agree. And I can see Janina M saying, I still don't trust her. Look, very few politicians are trustworthy. I mean, the whole system sort of begs a sort of untrustworthy performance, if you like, or kind of behavior from politicians, because they have to bend the rules. They have to go, putting all that aside, whether one trusts her or not, what you can't deny is that she has literally risked her life in this situation, gone way beyond just the purposes of kind of ensuring her own political survival. She may well not at the next set of midterm elections. She'll probably be pushed out. AIPAC will possibly, force her out. Trump will force her out. So she's definitely not only, everyone is thinking about their survival politically or career-wise, etc. But she's decided, and many others haven't decided. And so that, for me, that distinction is important.
Moham said, Moham, who many of you may know from Instagram, was saying, who's American. We had dinner with him the other night. I'd love to see him. And he was saying, the thing is, she's talking to her people.
Yes.
And she is convincing her people, the MAGA people, that we can't make any connection with, and making them understand that the connection between Israel and their own suffering.
And I think also something I also said to Mo the other night as well, which is really important. I can't remember where I heard this. A different way of getting on board with someone who politically you cannot get on board with generally, like Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson or Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's not that you or us, say, have stepped towards her politics.
No.
It's just that she happens to agree with us on this topic. And I think that's a different way of not feeling like you've somehow sacrificed yourself. You're not buying hook, line and sinker into, I mean, I heard Tucker Carlson the other day talking about his belief in demons and stuff.
I mean, is there anyone in life that you agree about everything? And the Caspian actually said again from the Young Turks at the end of her speech, he went, "Is that mummy? Is that mummy there?" Jake was howling. Is that my mummy?
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, but just going back to the vote, I wouldn't want to be that one guy who didn't vote for it in the House of Representatives. It was a unanimous bar one.
To release the files. And his reason was that there will be some people in there who are innocent that are going to get caught up in this just because their names come out, which is ridiculous. Because if you've been somebody that has given evidence, that's going to be made clear. And we reckon it's like, allegedly, perhaps, maybe him or one of his friends is in there.
Well, that's the guy in the House of Representatives.
He's sticking out like a sore thumb.
So the weirdest thing, so just in terms of news, this was voted through the House of Representatives, first chamber, and then immediately, we were all shocked last night. I kind of shouted across as we were watching something. I said, it's passed in the Senate. Now, which
we thought was going to be another long, drawn out thing.
Now it lands on Trump's desk. Now, who really, in any rational, reasonable way, can say that such a U-turn can't speak? My feeling on this is the U-turn has happened for one reason and one reason alone.
That it's going to come out anyway.
Possibly. Or that Trump and everyone involved with this have got guarantees somehow, somewhere, some way that the people they've never wanted implicated won't be implicated.
That's one theory, but also
through redaction, I'll just finish it because I like your opinion on it. Through either redaction, removal, erosion, complete destruction of the files, collusion with foreign governments, i.e. Israel doesn't want the full transparency on their involvement and inextricable ties with all of the kind of higher echelons of America. I can't help but feel that such a reversal, even not just from Trump, but from everyone, means that someone somewhere, they've all got some whiff of the idea that this is safe to do it now. And I do have a very brief clip, which I'll play after Nads, where Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, suggests that there is a place technologically and technically where they are wiping the files. They're essentially washing the files, cleaning the files of the names they want to get rid of.
First of all, I think the way that Trump has been responding over the last few days doesn't feel like a man who is in control and has got it all sorted. He feels he's losing it all over the place. It feels much more like he's up against the ropes and he's had to, and he's been pushed into this. Remember that clip we showed yesterday with the hoarse voice? And he was saying, "Oh, I've been shouting at another country about." It's like, no, you've been screaming your head off about the Epstein files, I think. And then I know that everyone, we're all quite. Why wouldn't we? We're all thinking, well, it will be redacted, everything will be covered up, everything will be, serious names will be taken out. But actually, we're just going to show you a little clip here of from another channel, and he's a lawyer, this chap, and he's just giving a little explanation why he doesn't think that's going to be as easy as people think it is.
I haven't got that clip.
Oh,
no.
What clip were you talking about then?
I didn't get that clip.
Oh,
I wasn't talking about a clip.
You said we're
going to
play you a short clip.
Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother.
Okay, so the clip that I'm talking about was from It was the
guy who interrogated Kash Patel that you're talking about.
Yes,
Senator.
And he goes, I totally get it why everybody is thinking, well, it's just being redacted. He said, but he said this stretches over years, and there are so many people that have seen the full files that. And one of those that he gave, one of the names he gave was Maureen Comey, who is
James Comey?
James Comey's daughter.
He was the former head of the FBI.
He was the former head of the FBI who now Trump is picking on and putting in court. And he said, if there are huge things taken out of there, she will be obliged as a lawyer to say, well, this is all missing. Where's the XYZ?
See, I disagree. And the reason I disagree that will happen is Trump.
No, he said it might happen.
Yeah, no, but Trump has instigated and started and has issued orders to start investigations into Democrats who are potentially tied up in the Epstein files. And I think, for me, I personally think the reason isn't redaction necessarily, isn't reduction, isn't removal. I think the crucial files that could, not necessarily, again, I'm with MeTube on this. It doesn't necessarily mean that Trump is in there and there's a photo of him having done this, that, or the other. There might be, but I don't believe there is. But I do believe it speaks to the entire infrastructure of American governance and finances
and all the corruption
and lawyers and legality, reaching all the way through to our royalty and our similar system here. And I think that it's so inextricably entwined, it could pull apart all of the seams of American governance could start to come apart.
And that's what he said will be too difficult to cover up.
But I think that what Trump's doing here, he's issued these instructions to investigate, his opponents, Democrats, etc. The important files will get gobbled up in legalistic kind of privacy. They won't be able to be released because they'll be needed for these trials. And I think that's the message. I
don't think that's going to go well for him, though, if he does that, because everybody's going to see through it. I don't think that will go down well.
Let me play you what Epstein's brother said briefly.
But remember,
about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out of it. That's what I was told by a pretty good source.
So what he's saying there is the reason they're going to be releasing these files, the reason for the flip, the reversal from Trump and the Republicans, is that they're sanitizing the files. And he suggests there's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out.
But as Cenk from TYT says, what we need to know, parking the horror story of the girls, right, which they must be validated in everything. They must. We can't keep saying, well, nobody really did anything. So firstly, that's very important. But also what the mainstream and legacy media are ignoring is what we've also found out about the Israel-Epstein connection already, because Dropsite News have looked at the files that have already come out. Follow Dropsite News, they're great. And done a full investigation into what so far with the files. And there it is. Emails between the ex-Israeli Prime Minister and Epstein.
Shall I play your clip that you...
In the stories that Dropsite News broke, Epstein arranges a meeting with Vladimir Putin and Ehud Barak. Ehud Barak, the former Prime Minister of Israel, could not arrange that meeting on his own. He needed Epstein to arrange it. On that fact alone, that shows you that Epstein was one of the most powerful people on earth. That's not a relevant story?
It's crazy.
Not a single mainstream media outlet has covered that? No, that's why what Tom Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Ro Khanna did in pushing this forward was absolutely heroic. If there's ever any truth or justice in our history books, they will mark those three as absolute American heroes for defying all of Washington, all of their colleagues, and all of the media. Because all of them, and why are all of his colleagues and all their colleagues and the media, why were they all covering up for a pedophile? How does that make any sense at all? One of the worst criminals in American history, why are they all covering for him? Come on, guys, we all know the answer. We already know it. The stories have already been broken. It's because Epstein was working with Israel. And Washington, D.C. is 100% occupied by Israel. But the American people broke their luck today.
Yes.
It was amazing. You put so much pressure on them that all those people were constantly playing shell games, to Anna's point. Oh, we're not in charge? Okay, we want the files. Oh, we're in charge? We don't want the files, right? And all of a sudden, you guys put a stop to that.
I know.
And by the way, tremendous credit to the Trump voters who put pressure on their own representatives and broke them. Great job.
And it's so important. The two are inextricably entwined. We've been saying this from the outset. Dirty, pedophilic men in control were having illegal sex. Women were being illegally trafficked to them. And in order to cover up what they were doing when their pants were down, Israel and an Israeli intelligence operative has held them all in a blackmail honey trap of such extraordinary proportions. And it's directly connected to the genocide in Gaza, directly. directly, because the pincer movement and the control and the manipulation of what could be spilt out and what might be spilt out to the Americans. It's such a shockingly obvious act, or such an obvious cover-up. It's so petrifying.
Imagine that Epstein arranged the meeting between Putin and Barak. Sorry, I've had trouble saying his name. That's isn't that fascinating? Doesn't that fascinate?
Where are
journalists
all our
around the
journalists
world
covering this story? I mean, what happened to the Watergate level of journalism, where journalists didn't just repeat what governments and leaders say, but they actually interrogate the news? I mean, that's where organizations like Drop Site News and the Young Turks kind of often kind of report what other, that investigative journalism, where is it? Where is it? I mean, even The Guardian landing on Farage's comments at school today. We've talked about this at our kitchen table for the last 4 years. Why? Where is the impetus in any
really
kind of investigative,
so
interrogative journalism?
So interesting. We will.
And let me show you what happens if someone in the press pack in the White House or in the Oval Office asks a question.
To ask a question.
Wait for Congress to release the Epstein files. Why not just do it now?
It's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me. But he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax, and ABC's your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something. I think the license should be taken away from ABC because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump, and then Trump wins the election in a landslide, that means obviously your news is not credible, and you're not credible as a reporter.
He's lost his shit there.
But see, that's what I mean. That's a man up against the ropes. That's not a man in control.
You're right.
That's a panicked person. He's so aggressive. He's so angry. He's so defensive. You're not winning when you're like that, are you?
I mean, I read a report somewhere else today. I can't remember quite where, but someone's suggesting that really all of Trump's culpability in all of this is inextricably entwined with Russia and his financial connection with Russia. He's really worried about the reveal and the revelations that he's inextricably entwined at the highest levels of Russian finance and Russian money laundering, all this kind of stuff. Suggested. But I just want to say something. Because it's just struck me before we kind of show you other clips. And there's a piece we're going to do about led by donkeys and the BBC News. Just going back to what I was just saying then, as I was saying it, I once again 2 days ago thought I'm going to tune into the BBC News, the terrestrial news. I have never watched a more shocking betrayal, and this is as someone who's defended the BBC, of what mainstream media actually delivers. The mainstream media delivers to our public. It's so simplistic. It's so unanalytical. It's so served up like an edition of Play School that it's no wonder people aren't engaged. And it doesn't mean you need to. I mean, I saw a couple of people saying, I don't know the finer details of American politics, because no one's telling you. No, you don't need to know the finer details. You need to just get in. It's like the media in our country has completely kind of locked us off from anything that's interrogative, questioning, or challenging. And they haven't had to do it in this country in the way that Trump's doing it in America, where he's essentially challenging licenses and removing things. In this country, we have no analytical journalism. Mainstream media. No. In the mainstream media, it's an absolute fucking joke. I was shocked. I just thought, I'm going to check out the news. I keep talking about BBC News, and I watched it, and I listened to Radio 4, the news bulletin at 1, and I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. The stories they choose, the analysis is limited. There's no depth. There's no sort of shocking. It's shocking. And the vast majority of us, unless you're doing what we're doing, are just, trying to get what news we can. Like your sister Dina gets enraged every morning by BBC Breakfast. It's just like mainstream media is really, really worthless. It really is. Oh.
So he was actually in the room at the time with the Saudi prince, who was given the most extraordinary welcome.
Look at this. Just look at that headline. I couldn't believe the Guardian ran with this.
Trump and Mr. Bonesaw stage loving as Saudi's $1 trillion wipes the bloody slate clean.
That must be horrible for the
because he really has been a pariah.
Yes,
hasn't he? Since the murder of Khashoggi, brutal murder in the embassy. He was knocked out first, wasn't he?
He was suffocated. He
was suffocated, and then do you remember these images, guys, of him going in? It was the last time he was seen.
Yeah.
His poor wife and family with this royal reception at the White House yesterday, and he was famously cut up with a bone saw and put in a cupboard. And then, so truly, truly, truly horrific. He had spoken out a lot. He was a journalist. He'd spoken out a lot against the Saudi regime. And
he'd gone into the Saudi consulate in Turkey, hadn't he, to get his marriage certificate or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he didn't come out.
His poor wife gave an interview yesterday. She was just distraught. But they've cooked up a £1 trillion deal, him and Trump.
Well, we've got another question to Trump and to the Saudi king.
Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president, is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office.
Who are you with?
Why should Americans trust
Who are you with?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it. And we.
Do you get that?
Pause it there.
Pause for a second.
Pause it there.
The person he's talking about is
the guy
journalist
that was murdered and bone sawed up and put in a cupboard. So there was an inference, in my opinion, the way I heard it, that not a lot of people liked him.
Yeah, he was an insubordinate. Bad things happen.
Bad things happen.
Believe it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that. I will tell you. The Crown Prince called me, and he specifically asked me if I would lift the sanctions on Syria because he wants to see Syria make it. As you know, the leader of Syria was just here. We had a great meeting, and he's a strong guy, and I guess you need a strong person to run it. And I think Syria's made tremendous progress. And we did lift the sanctions at the request of the Crown Prince, also the President of Turkey.
And this whole sickening saga, because don't think we sit here as supporters and advocates for the Palestinians.
We probably didn't say Khashoggi was murdered in this country.
In Turkey.
No, I thought it was here.
No, it was in Turkey. No,
it was Turkey. Sorry.
Yes,
it was. Sorry.
Yeah. So just remember, we have forever and a day been as critical of the Arab states as we have of, America and Britain. They are a self-serving group of countries that for them, the Palestinian problem is a problem only because it's something felt very keenly, very strongly by many of their citizens and poor, everyday Muslim members of their
Arab
communities.
world,
The
the
Arab
people
world.
are massively against it, but just like everywhere else, we've got greedy leaders that are thinking of their own pockets.
So this Saudi king, who basically, bone sword an opponent, Trump says bad things happen.
Where he didn't, one of his people did.
No, Trump said, some bad things happen. He said, he used the line at the later press conference, bad things happen.
No, but you said the Crown Prince did it, he didn't.
No, he did literally did. No, he did literally go over with a bone sword.
Allegedly, he ordered it.
Yeah. And again, you're right. The king of Saudi, best friends with Kushner, again, where's the Epstein connection in the whole kind of Gulf states too? The whole thing is sickening. And at the bottom of the pile of all of these sort of interrelated dramas, you've got the grooming gang victims of the Epstein circle. It's a grooming gang. Let's remind Farage, this is a great big grooming gang. Get cross about this grooming gang
with
too.
Rich white men.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got the victims, you've got the female, young women, children victims of a paedophilic grooming gang, and you've got Palestinians being destroyed in a genocide, whilst rich, in control kings, leaders carve everything up. Which is why I can't help but feel there's another stitch up behind this sudden, swift voting through of releasing the Epstein files. I can't truly believe we are going to be given anything transparent. I don't know how to trust it. I don't know how we can trust it.
I don't think we can, but I think that for me, Trump feels up against it seriously. He's losing his shit all over the place. And I don't think you can wipe everything clean. You just can't. It's over too many, and you can't make it just all the Democrats. He's not going to get away with that.
Yeah. I just want to show you this clip, which is really odd. I found this clip. I played it to Nadia. She was agog. This is another clip from the meeting with the Saudi king. But just listen to Trump and just try and draw your own inferences from what he's saying.
All presidents.
Does Trump blow them all away?
No, it's another league, Mr. President.
Mr. President,
and Trump doesn't give a fist pump. I grabbed that hand. I don't give a hell where that hand's been. I grabbed that hand.
Oh my God.
I don't give a damn where that hand's been. Should we say it one more time?
No.
Yeah, I think we have to.
All presidents.
Does Trump blow them all away?
No, it's another league, Mr. President.
Mr. President,
and Trump doesn't give a fist pump. I grabbed that hand. I don't give a hell where that hand's been. I grabbed that hand.
And not to forget, not only because should you, but their appalling human rights history, Saudi Arabia. I mean, appalling torture, execution after execution, complete and utter clampdown, any kind of protest, free speech.
Nora Doyle, and no one's seen that clip.
You usually only fist pump, don't you guys? You only usually fist pump, but with this one, you don't even care where his hand has been.
There's so many inferences in the hand thing, and I'm gonna walk us through three possibilities for that. One, the racist Islamophobic trope of what happens with hands and cleanliness. Two, the Epstein inference, the talk of women and how he talks about women. Or three, he's referencing in lurid detail there the fact that this guy was responsible for potentially ordering a bone sword. I don't care
what he does, yeah. I think I'm leaning towards this is how these kind of men talk about women.
Right.
That's what I think.
Right. Okay.
That's my feeling.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like I need a shower.
You need to feel like I need a sherry.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to play you a...
We should read some comments.
Oh, yeah.
So
contrarian view, MBS Mohammed bin, is it Salman? Has also transformed Saudi Arabia, creating more freedoms. He's also against the mullahs. He's also pro-Israel Zionism. They continue to show us normal people how deranged and evil they are, EV3331. It's all a sick game, and we are their sacrifices. Yeah, Arsenal Trill. He's merely front-running, taking ownership of the bad PR.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
Yeah, musical chimp. He's only Bubba. F1492 YMCA. What does that mean? Where's it been? Well, no, it's like someone said, Donald Trump. Oh, I don't know. It's just so weird. He's harnessed a gay classic anthem. There are enough ers in the world to. There aren't enough ers in the world to express how diabolical.
We're just literally left speechless, aren't we?
Yeah, it's just so inappropriate and so short.
Imagine Khashoggi's family.
Yeah.
Imagine how you would feel, the rage and hurt that you would feel by that.
Oh, just
that
shocking.
whole
Shocking.
show, yeah.
Just before we move on to, I just want to show you the thing that Led by Donkeys have projected onto the BBC. Let me just quickly, people have been asking, have you got the piggy clip with Donald Trump on Air Force One? Just so that you've seen it, heard it, here it is.
Quiet, Piggy. Okay?
Mr. President, what did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said you knew about the girls?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, you know, that is Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years. But he also saw strike because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos to himself, give me a break. You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase.
Sir,
Yeah,
if
Jennifer,
there's
go
nothing
ahead.
incriminating in the file, sir, why not acting as a...
Quiet, Piggy.
Quiet Piggy. Quiet Piggy.
He said,
He's got a problem with
he
female
apparently
journalists, hasn't
said
he?
that she was disrespectful in her question to her fellow journalists.
To the press pack.
To the press pack. Press pack, where were you?
Yeah.
Did any of you stick up for her and say,
Yeah.
we're not insulted? She's merely asking the question that a journalist should ask bravely.
The press pack is in
It's always
America.
the women asking these difficult
It
fucking
is.
questions. Have you noticed that?
It is. He can't stand that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, the press pack in America is
Piggy.
increasingly like a sort of a cloud of flies around a big orange turd, isn't it? It's like buzzing flies just trying to seek kind of acceptance. It's horrible.
Yes, Anna Troll. His contempt is disgraceful. The misogyny. Wow. Piggy. As Anna Caspian said, he needs to look in the mirror.
Yeah, like Michu says, the press pack are not going to risk their Air Force One access. It's terrible. And he knows that. He knows
But
that.
I'm confused because I thought everybody hadn't signed the
No,
document.
that's just for the Pentagon.
Oh, just for the
That was just for the
Pentagon.
Pentagon's release. That was Hegseth wants to be able to control the narrative
okay.
there. Okay, so we're now going to show you, this clip we're going to show you is something that's been projected.
Jennifer Jacobs, thank you. That's the name of the journalist who was
Right.
brave enough to ask the question. Thank you, Jennifer Jacobs.
This is Led by Donkeys. You'll know Led by Donkeys. They are a great sort of projection team. They are forever projecting kind of uncomfortable truths onto buildings at Windsor Castle. When Trump visited, they projected Epstein and Trump.
I think
onto
behind the
castle.
scenes, they're a very interesting group of
I think
people,
they really are.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, check this one out. This was projected onto Broadcasting House at the BBC.
This is Broadcasting House, home of the BBC, and this is Sir Robbie Gibb, a member of the corporation's board of directors. The BBC has come under fire recently after an internal report detailed how it spliced together 2 clips of Donald Trump on January 6, 2021. The report also accused the BBC of being biased against Israel. Shortly after the Daily Telegraph published the report, the BBC's Director General and Head of News resigned. And who was the driving force behind those resignations? According to newspaper reports, it was Robbie Gibb. Gibb claims to be on a mission to root out bias at the BBC. So who is this self-styled paragon of impartiality? He describes himself as a proper Thatcherite conservative who once served as the Conservative Prime Minister, Theresa May's Downing Street head of communications. After that, he helped launch GB News, the TV channel whose presenters include Nigel Farage and Jacob Rees-Mogg. Conservative Prime Minister Boris Johnson then appointed Gibb to the BBC board, where he took on a key role overseeing editorial standards. Conservative activist Robbie Gibb had a mission to root out bias. One newspaper quoted him as saying that if he didn't get his way, he would, quote, blow the place up. When Gibb was handed his role at the BBC, he had to fill in a form declaring his financial interests. In it, he wrote that he was the 100% owner of the Jewish Chronicle newspaper. The paper had just been bought by a consortium, but Gibb has never revealed who put up the money. So what happened when this figurehead of BBC impartiality took over at the Jewish Chronicle? The paper became a vocal supporter of the Netanyahu government and was plagued by ethical and editorial lapses, which led 5 leading columnists to resign. One of them, Jonathan Friedland, said, quote, "Too often the JC reads like a partisan ideological instrument, its judgments political rather than journalistic. A reminder, Sir Robbie Gibb is now the arbiter of supposed BBC bias on Israel-Palestine." The internal report that started the recent controversy was written by a man called Michael Prescott, a former Rupert Murdoch employee who is reportedly a friend of Robbie Gibb. The BBC has its flaws, but it's still the most trusted broadcaster in the world and an institution worth protecting. Yet, the man who sits on its board, supposedly enforcing impartiality, is a conservative political activist who owned a newspaper on behalf of secret donors that became known for inaccurate, ideological and deeply biased content. There are many fine journalists working in this building who are committed on a deep level to impartiality. So Robbie Gibb, it would appear, is not one of them.
Get rid of Robbie Gibb from the BBC governorship.
Follow Led by Donkeys. Share the post.
And you're right. I mean, fun times forever. I realised when Nadia was away for that week. I mean, we did a lot of talk about the BBC and the attack and the assault on it and its alleged bias. And I've even been slightly out of step with Nadia on this. I am a huge. It's really important for me to always stress that the BBC is and has been many things. I've just taken it down for its appalling news coverage, for its appalling online news coverage of the Gaza crisis. It's dropped the ball in so many different ways. There's a difference between being critical of what it puts out, being frustrated and annoyed and betrayed by what it does and doesn't do. But then there's a difference between that and then advocating to not have the idea of a neutral, independent public service broadcaster that could potentially do and provide so much information.
And how you get that is by holding them to account.
Absolutely.
So this is highly. This is and this is part of that.
Absolutely.
Hold them to account.
Yeah. Robbie Gibb on the board of governors. Everyone needs to contact the BBC, contact your politicians, contact your MP, and demand and request that such a jaundiced, compromised, not impartial individual should not be on the BBC board of governors.
So, Ruth Jones.
Yes. Shall we play the clip?
Let's play the clip.
So this is the Queen. Is she at a sort of an event, some kind of gala?
There's some sort of event. I don't know what it is.
Ruth Jones.
If you're listening on podcast, I just want to say just quickly what the Queen is saying there to Ruth Jones is, you're Ruth Jones, have you lost masses of weight?
Haven't you lost masses of weight?
Now, when Nadia played me that, my head went in my hands and I was reminded immediately of my nan. My nan would say that. She'd say things like, "Oh, Marky, we don't half run to fat us, Adderleys. Have you eaten too many pies?" And she'd literally say it like that. Be like, no, Nan, thanks.
Well, I asked the question over on Instagram. Oh God, what was the question?
What do you think, guys? Do you think she should have, could have? Is there ever a situation in which you comment on whether someone's lost weight or not?
So I asked people if they would be offended. Coates, yes. Shazee, yes. Absolutely. Ask in private, says CK53. No, says Libby Fishing. Yes. Yes, I bloody would be offended. Hi, Alice. No, yes. Not at all. Thank you for noticing. I think she's been bloody rude, says Robbie and Job. And yes, I would have been offended. I think it's much more would have been offended. Ophelia SRX7, absolutely. How about commending Ruth on her amazing acting instead? Kian Donald, of course. Could she not think of anything better to talk to Ruth about than her weight? Silly bitch. So, yeah.
A lot of people here saying they wouldn't be offended, whereas other people saying, so it's very much split down the middle.
Masses of weight. You've lost masses of weight.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think it was unbelievably rude in that setting And here we are again. The first thing that you say to a woman is something about the way that she looks.
Yes.
I think Ruth looked, she's so lovely, Ruth.
Lee Peart says, I think masses was a bit unnecessary.
I think the masses, but I also think, imagine that with all those people. The other thing is, you never know if somebody's unwell.
No,
you don't know why somebody might have lost a lot of weight. Somebody could be having cancer treatment privately. Somebody could. So at an event like that, where everything is mentioned, the Queen is watched for everything she says. Imagine if you were ill and you were keeping that secret and it said. So I think it was undoubtedly rude. I saw Ruth just taken aback and then be very gracious. And she turned to her friend on the side and went, "Oh, she's noticed that I've lost weight." She is a phenomenal writer and actress. She's a lovely human being. We've interviewed her a couple of times on This Women. And I think we just got to get out of the first thing that we say to women is how they've lost weight or comment on
Do we know if it's the only thing she said to her?
But, well, they were greeting and it was the first.
Yes.
I didn't say the only.
No, I agree. I'm just trying to find a way of.
It was the first thing she said. That having been said.
Yes.
If you're in more of a casual setting, like I've had this quite a lot over the last couple of years, I've just been very gradually losing weight. I have not used injections, right? There's a couple of people that think I have, but I have not used it. I'm not against it, but I have not used them. So, and you would 100% back me up on that, wouldn't you, Mark?
Unless you're leading a double life.
but I do support people that do 100%. But anyway, so when I was first losing weight, and Lee might even have noticed this, be walking along at the corridor, see somebody I hadn't seen them for a while, and they go, "Oh," and they stop themselves.
Right.
So I started to say to people, "You want to say I've lost weight, don't you?" And they went, "Well, you have." And I went, "But you can say it to me because it actually is fucking hard work losing weight, and it's really nice when people notice it."
But have you not just kind of entirely contradicted your idea that this is insulting? Because for some people, being told you've lost masses of weight is like, thanks.
Yes. But I think because now I'm more awake to it, I used to say that all the time. Wow, you've lost weight, you've lost weight, you've lost weight. And now I am more awake to it. Some people have eating disorders that you may not know anything about. Right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you could say something and you could encourage them. Somebody could be ill. I did become awake to this because I was a total weight person that spoke about it to everyone.
But when someone's lost a lot of weight, so Ruth Jones will know she's lost weight, right? And if, say, the Queen was to have come up to her and said, "You look fantastic," Ruth Jones would have known that what she was really saying was, "You've lost weight." So what she verbalized was, however she said whatever she said to Ruth Jones, she just said it boldly as she felt it. And that just
I think we've got to stop saying when we first meet somebody how they look.
No,
because
but we all do it.
That
you
to
look
any
great.
Of the men. She wouldn't have said to any of the men, "You look
Your
great."
dad came in a couple of weeks ago and he said to me, "Mark, you've lost some weight." And I was like, "Thanks." It's like
No, but he knows you well enough to know that A, you're not ill, and B, you love that because you talk about being overweight. So I think it's a personal thing.
Okay.
I think if you know somebody and you know what's going on with them, yes, it's lovely. You know that somebody's wanted to lose weight, then why not encourage them? Because as I always say, it's incredibly difficult to lose it.
Can I just say, final defense of the Queen, what about a generational thing? Because my nan never meant anything horrible.
But that doesn't mean we can't be awake to it. It doesn't mean we can't waken up. You know, there's probably 100 things we've changed in our language that we didn't know, and now we know and we shift it.
Yeah, I get it. But maybe do we give old people a bit more of a pass? The irony, says Murder, She Wrote, of it being Camilla saying this, given Princess Diana struggled with bulimia.
But older people don't seem to learn this stuff around weight at all.
But maybe you don't walk into every environment thinking about, "Oh, I remember Diana had bulimia." Maybe that just wasn't in her mind.
I think also it's just an easy thing to say. You could have something else to say. I think it covers, I think often socially, it's just something you can say in small talk to fill time.
Jennifer Kando, really like what you say. Surprisingly, maybe I find that question she put to Ruth made her more normal and not staged in conversations.
Well, exactly, because PR-wise, it's a disaster to say it.
Me too. Camilla does have a bold way of speaking.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Camilla. I really like Camilla. And I don't think she said that in a mean way, but I just like the conversation about it because I certainly shifted my language around it, because I used to say, "Oh, for God's sake, there's nothing wrong with saying it." And then when I listened to other people's benefit. Oh God, yeah, actually, think about it.
In the setting that Ruth was in, especially with cameras and microphones, says Gabrielle 6326, it was hugely rude.
Yeah. And actually, we don't know why Ruth's lost weight.
No,
none of us know.
Well, okay, but a number of people asking, has she maybe been public about it on her socials? If she has, then perhaps it's okay. That's an interesting point. There's no need to mention it at all, says Rachel Pickard. You may as well say, "Ooh, you're socially acceptable now. Well done." Now, patronising.
I think Ruth Jones is not. I don't
Zoe, if someone knows you well, it's a good thing, but strangers, nah.
No, never.
Yeah. We've tried to wake up our parents, pointless, lol, ingrained, says Stephanie 3. Like with my nan, I mean, my nan said some of the most appalling things in earshot of Nadia's father, just entirely racist, to the point that back in the day when my mum was able-bodied, my mum literally ran from the lavatory of the place we were at to almost rugby tackle my nan onto the floor and gag her. I mean, you know, but my nan loved your dad. My nan adored
but she wouldn't
Teddy.
Wake up to the racism.
But she couldn't wake up because I think sometimes for that generation, I'm not excusing it, by the way. I do think it's like trying to do a 3-point turn when there's no.
I'm just looking on Ruth Jones' social media. Not a single word about her weight. She is not. She wouldn't. And you know, she's such a great writer. She's such a great brain. There's 100 other things she could have said to her rather than her weight.
Yeah, maybe it was the first time they saw each other. Maybe they had more conversation. Lottie Drew, and I think in that high-profile situation, first convo with the Queen is probably not what I'd want to hear. No. I think we are so embedded in female looks and commenting. Yes, I suppose I've met the Queen for the first time, and she said I've lost loads of weight.
Masses.
Okay. Yeah, masses. Yeah, like Lee says, it's the masses word, isn't it?
Okay. So guys, please, if you've enjoyed your time with us, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live, because a lot of people get frustrated when they miss lives that we do, and it's because they haven't hit that bell. So yeah.
Do you want to, should we play one funny?
Yes.
Here we go.
Grande, Cynthia Erivo, thank you so much for being here for this interview today.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having us. Oh, this is the best day of my life. This is such an opportunity. What an honor to be here with you. Oh my gosh, I love you. And you.
Okay, well, a lot of your fans have been wanting to know, what is your favorite color?
Speechless. I can't answer this. Do you want me to go first? Please. Okay. Funnily enough, hold my hand. Hold your hand. My favorite color, don't say it, is green. I love you so much. You're so talented. Mine is pink. Oh. You are everything. You were so good. I'm gonna cry. This is. What was I gonna say?
Very funny.
Oh my God. Funny. There are so many clips of the two of them, the actual two of them, that I am left open mouthed.
I've never seen anything like it.
But it's the differences. You know, they're so American. She's so American around it. And I think they are in their character. I don't think they've come out.
Do you think they'll ever return?
No, I think they're going to need somebody to help.
I think they need psychiatric help.
Somebody's going to have to help them.
Someone needs to do a fictional intervention in the land of Oz.
Yes.
And somehow pull them back.
What could we call the syndrome when actors can't get back out of their characters?
I mean, they need to literally click their ruby heels together.
They do. Because you may not know the saying, you know, one doesn't act, one inhabits. You inhabit the character and you tell the truth. You don't act, which is like lying and fake. You inhabit. But I think they've gone right in. They've inhabited and they've locked the fucking door and all the windows.
They've moved. I mean, they're so methoded that they needed to be demethoded. But I did notice in one clip 2 days ago, I noticed Ariana finding it just a little bit too much.
When she was...
Did you see it?
I did.
With her necklace.
I did.
And I think Cynthia might be the one who's in there a bit more.
Oh, have we got that one? No. That's the one I wanted to show.
No, I will try and find it for tomorrow, because Cynthia is kind of really correcting a necklace that doesn't need correcting. Saying.
So she's answering, and Cynthia is like this.
But the necklace was not.
The necklace was totally fine, and Ariana's like
Ariana
just.
I think that's the first crack I've noticed in the relationship. Just the first crack. What's the love, guys?
Maybe